Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read for Tuesday, March 14th, 2023. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading, but as always, do keep in mind as we proceed, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates and discard the rest. But I more than appreciate the love and support. You know what to do. Hit that like button, comments down below, and of course, subscriptions if you haven't done so already. And yeah, the overall message I channeled for this day, making that impression, making that impression. I thought that was an interesting message to get overall. But I pre-pulled two cards from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, and then I think we're going to use the Light Seers Tarot. And we'll see where the reading takes us. But we're beginning with balance. Balance. So I do feel like it's a day where things can feel a little bit foggy. I'm getting with the cloud there over her face. You might find oneself spacing out at certain points, a bit of a daydreamy vibe, or just a little bit out of it. But I do feel like your connection to the moon could take a highlight. I do feel as if your dreams, your goals, your wishes, that's going to take a bit of a focus at certain points, or one in particular. But I do feel like there's the potential to be impressing people when you're out and about, strutting your stuff, migrating, accomplishing. They're saying trying to get somewhere on time for some, but I do feel like you're looking pretty good throughout this day, or really good for some. But I feel as if your energy, as well as leaving an impression on people that you cross paths with, if you put yourself on social media or in the public eye in another way, that is leaving lots of impressions, okay? I do feel as if naturally, with all of the positive impressions you're leaving on people, or continuing to leave if they're coming back to see your work or have known you for a bit, or you already met them, there's naturally going to be some negativity, the naysayers, the judgment, if you will. And even those who you leave, some of which that you leave a positive impression on, may still judge you through it all and not show it or not speak up, or may express both positive and negatives. Does that make sense? And so they're saying take the good with the bad, anyways, and take everything with a grain of salt. They're saying stay confident. But we also have self-love. So it's a day where you're taking care of oneself. I wouldn't be surprised if you find it's a good day to go for a run or go to the gym to take care of oneself in your own individual way. I do feel as if through it all, you might find it's a day where you balance out taking care of oneself, implementing self-care, and then accomplishing your work and cleaning. And you might find it's a busy day, some of which it might not be as busy as I was just mentioning, but I do feel as if either way, you need to find that balance between filling one's cup up, watering one's well-being, and getting done what feels necessary, and potentially more, right? What doesn't feel necessary but will leave you feeling accomplished, fulfilled, and just good about oneself. Okay, let's do some shuffling and see what else we get. 323. 323. I would look up the angel number meaning. What else do we have for Tuesday? I'm hearing better than Monday. Better than Monday. Okay, that makes sense. And I also did hear bouncing back before, and I didn't choose to mention it. But now I'm feeling, with that said and done about being better than Monday, the day, I feel it like you might find is a day where you're bouncing back, even if you have those foggy, sort of cloudy moments. But the Hanged Man, I also feel as if some of which drawn to the reading might find that there's a moment where you space out and there's a significance to a purpose to what you think about or what you're drifting away from. You might have been focusing on something lacking in productivity or just unhealthy. It might have been more so that you just needed to switch your thought process towards something of importance. It might be a remembrance kind of moment. But the Hanged Man and the Page of Cups, remembering how to enhance your glow, remembering how much, you care about oneself, about yourself. I do feel as if your specific wording at times throughout this day might feel a little bit off or just weird. I wouldn't be surprised if you're spoken through by spirit like I am, but I do feel as if there's a moment where you say something throughout this day, even if it's, say, you're sitting alone in your hermit mode, your solitude, and you just say something out loud, it's a key moment. Please focus for a hot second on what you said and why that was. There's something important for you. That's so random. We're going to put this one on the left, and then we'll put this one on the right and continue. So I do feel as if at the split deck we have the Three of Swords and the Six of Swords. I'm picking up on the fact that a lot of which drawn to the reading might find a push to, or just naturally thinking about past disappointment, who and or what you left behind. I feel like for a lot it was a relationship. It could have been a job or a living situation or another kind of investment or commitment that just came crashing down, or you chose to put it to rest for one, if not multiple, important reasons. Spirit saying, don't let that moment get carried away. Don't overthink. Don't second guess. Do not compare to what's at hand. Say you met somebody new recently, or you're dating somebody at this time, and you think about the past person that left you with disappointment or you left behind. Don't compare it. It's not the same. They're not the same, okay? And you've changed. What else do we have for this Tuesday? Ooh, that was very interesting. Did a very intense flip right onto my leg. But the Three of Swords again, okay? So I do feel like there could be some emotions you have to cope with, deal with. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a day where you just feel as if you're picking up on someone else's emotion, if not multiple people, being empathic, or you could just find that one of not multiple emotions floats to the surface randomly, and Spirit saying, cater to it, deal with it. Don't discard it, push it down, or shove it to the side and then have it come back up again when it's not an appropriate time, because it feels like this will come to be, if it does, when you're alone, okay, or you just actually have the moment or several moments to take care of it, to heal. But we have the Hermit card and the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like there's important moments of solitude throughout this day where you're enhancing your glow if you look at that imagery, zooming into the Hermit card. But I feel like there's thoughts of how to enhance your future. But I feel like there's thoughts about a new opportunity for yourself when it comes to making money. It could be obviously a job or a business opportunity, but I feel like things are doing well for you, or will be improving moving forward. So keep that in mind. I'm going to put the Hermit card in the middle, and we'll put the Ace of Pentacles to the side. But I just feel like you are doing better throughout this day and surrounding it than you give yourself credit for, or someone might be thinking at a distance. I feel like there's somebody concerned about you when they don't need to be, okay? It might feel like a bit of a random day, and as well, I feel as if, and this would have came in handy for the Monday reading as well, when stepping into it, when continuing through this day as it unravels, as it proceeds, try to keep an open mind, try to be flexible and adapt, because I sense that a lot of which drawn to the reading will want to see the day unravel in a specific way, having a set plan, or just wanted to get all of this done, and you know what I'm saying? And then twists and turns might come to be. You might have to rearrange, prioritize, unexpected pop-ups might take place. You might feel a bit out of it, so you can't get as much done. So just try to go with the flow. Go with the flow. That's going to be the advice. What else do we have for Tuesday? So the Death and Rebirth card and the Ten of Cups. Thinking about where you're meant to be, who you're meant to be wrapped up with, wanting to have that perfect dating life, wanting to have that perfect living situation, perfect career success. Some of which thinking about where would I ideally fit in as far as a job goes. But I sense that you don't need to overthink it, and you might get a push to adjust your perspective on an option, or to silence any doubt in regards to a person you recently met, or in regards to an option that you recently jumped into, when it comes to your career. Does this make sense? There's going to be something you begin to doubt at a certain moment throughout the day, if not multiple, and Spirit saying, do you want your Ten of Cups? Okay, so moving right along the Death and Rebirth, because I feel as if it's a day that reminds you through taking care of oneself that you're changing. And this could come through in more than one way, or just one specific way for you. But I feel like for a lot, you're being reminded that your glow starts from within. Healing, taking care of one's mental and emotional side, right? to water one's well-being once again and watch oneself glow a bit more as the day proceeds. But I feel like there is a bit of a airy vibe at certain points. I'm surprised we don't have any sword cards out here, but I do feel as if you might find oneself sort of floating at a certain point throughout the day, where you might find that you're walking quite light, or you're just feeling very angelic at a certain point, if not multiple or the whole day for some, and this will feel quite refreshing. A spirit is helping you feel less heavy. It might be after an emotional moment or due to certain energy you're having to deal with, but the Queen of Cups, in the midst of implementing and finding that balance through it all, they're saying put your hands up and just roll with the punches. Allow for the day to just flow and don't force it, okay? You might not feel the inclination or the need to force it, but you just might at a certain point, or multiple. But it's a day where you're being reminded through the implementing of some balance and self-love, self-care, and getting done what you feel is necessary, and potentially plus some once again. There's a focus on what is out of your control, and therefore you might find throughout this day there's random moments where you try to find that control or rediscover it through, say, cleaning up, organizing, getting work done, checking things off your to-do list, stuff of that nature. And this will feel rewarding, productive, and just satisfying. And it reminds you just to, again, roll with the punches and don't stress about what's not in your control, especially when it comes to people and how they live and or work. But I feel like this is a day where, regardless of what you get done or don't get done, regardless of how the day unravels for you specifically, because everybody's case is different, and again, there could be those random pop-up moments and twists and turns and unexpected occurrences. Okay, so I feel like spiritual occurrences for some. You're making an impression left and right, and again, the majority of which is positive, but you can't control how people perceive you. You can just take care of oneself, do what you gotta do, and keep that confidence alive or bring it on back. And so just go with the flow throughout this day once again, and allow for oneself to recognize everything's working out in your favor, even when it doesn't fully feel like it or at all, okay? That was horrible wording, but it's just a day once again where, as you make multiple positive impressions, allow for oneself to be okay with the negative ones. All right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll see you next time.